Hey there viewer, happy holidays and welcome back to Caves of Good. Now between this recording and the last one, I took some time walking around, looking out for a couple more ruins. Didn't really find anything of great consequence, but then I went to the 6-day steal to sell stuff and I got some sun-dried banana, which means this is the time when I'm going to make this happen. I'm gonna go to the oven here, choose ingredients. I'm gonna fry up the banana and the wine wafer doesn't really matter here, because what does matter here is that now I have psychometry at level 1. And psychometry is a mutation that allows you to learn how to build lower level items even without getting the recipe for them. So just want to see, don't have any left in this chest, so it's gonna be this one. Right, this night vision goggle and this wrist calc were stuff I found in ruins, and I got this data disk from a legendary that I found on the way. I'm going to need this for the battle. Okay, so now I'm going to grab all of these grenades. And I think the jackhammer's okay here too. Plus the revolver. I'm gonna put them in my inventory. And now you're going to see. I go to a camp cell here. And now I get this option to read the early history with psychometry. So now I can build camp cells. Gonna do the same with fidget cells. Usually level 1 psychometry is enough to learn all items that are made of 3 tinkering bits. I think 4 and above need higher levels. Oh, didn't want that. Put the spear back here. Now I'm going to be all set with grenades. Let's see if it works on the jackhammer. Yes, it does. That's perfect. Now I can actually disassemble it. Build it again if I ever have a need for it. So let's learn the revolver, because why not? You can also do this with all the injectors. So you cannot actually build these recoilers. You can, however, build scramblers. This shouldn't work because it has a higher complexity. See, this artifact is too complex for you to decipher. So I would need at least level 2 or 3. However, I can learn semi-automatics, so I really don't know exactly how the game handles complexity. You can't build mechanical wings. The hover sled should also be too complex. Indeed. But this is still extremely useful. So now I'm going to switch to tinkering here. See, this is all the stuff I know how to make. Now, you can see here the different grades of grenades are actually different. And they need different tinkering parts. And in the case of tonics, you see, in addition to the bits, it also needs some sort of other ingredient. And you see, this is why I've been collecting dreadroot tubers, because that is an ingredient in cell injectors. Shadow needs Voider Gland. Sphinx Soul needs Crystal of Eve. You're not really going to bother with this one. Sphinx Soul is extremely rare. And Uber Nostrum needs a Lover's Blossom. And Lover's Blossom is the stuff you sometimes get from killing jilted lovers. You know, those plants. So this is also pretty rare. But unless you have regeneration, this is the only way of regrowing lost limbs. So it's very useful to know how to make it. Okay, another thing I picked up was this mod, Metered. If I put this on a energy cell, it would tell me exactly how much charge it has. So I am going to mod both of my fidget cells. Let's see how they're doing. This one is at 100%, this one is at 28%, so let's pop this one back here for recharging. So now that I know how much charge it would take, I'm actually going to replace one cell here. Next time I'm going to grid gate. We're going to see how much charge it actually takes. Because if it is a full 100%, then I would need to always keep them fully charged. I got these implants because I had too much money, so I just bought all of these. These don't have weight except for the grounding shots, so I'm just going to keep these with me. Sell them if I ever find another caravan or a vendor somewhere. And of course you cannot make more of these. So this is where we are now. And you know, I could check the carbine. And maybe the electro bow. Just in case. But I hold no faith that these will work. Alright, so carbine works. And the electro bow is too complex. You need pristine electronics to repair this, of which I have exactly one. So you're going to stay benched for a while. Let's unload the carbine and scrap it. Now that I can just build another one. Very well. Actually, there isn't really a reason to put these grenades back. I might as well just toss them out liberally. I don't think I need to put anything back. Well, the electro bow. I might be able to use it sometime. But now this should be all good. I'm just gonna disassemble this, since I have two full ones already. Alright then, I am going to lose psychometry in a day. See, you can, with level 1, you can identify artifacts up to complexity 5, and you can learn how to make them up to complexity 3. It's a little confusing to me still. I thought the complexity only meant the amount of bits it was made of, but apparently that is not the case. But I still have another sun-dried banana, so I just need to get some more grenades and the like, stockpile them, and then do all of this again. Okay, there are a couple more historical sites for me to visit, but they are pretty far, and I want to get at least one level before I get to Golgotha. So I guess that's going to be a little more moving around. Okay, that is putrescence. I really don't want to step into that, because that has a chance of giving you a disease. I want to see if using Kindle can evaporate puddles. I know it works with water. Okay, and I fell down. When you have wings, that happens sometimes. But it seems that also broke my mechanical wings. And I cannot repair it right now. So let's just pop this bladder back on my back. Because as long as I'm wearing it, the water in it has no weight. That is some kind of turret, but I cannot see it, so that makes it dangerous. Alright, that was 2 turrets. And it looks like one turret killed the other. That's just perfect. Let's EMP the other. You again. Boys. Thank you. Got immediately dealt with. Bunch of spitter plants over here. And the slumberling. Well, at this point I might be able to kill it. And if not, I have sleep gas, so it can just go back to sleep on its own. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. It looks like the slumberling is trying to avoid my clones, and it's already dead. Well, I got 525 XP for the slumberling. This is a good sign. At least the most common threat I can face this early is manageable. Yeah, that right there is a bloated leech. It's kind of weird how it's still a leech, but technically different, so it isn't hostile. You are an Agor maggot. And you have acid attack. Too bad I'm immune to acid. That sounded like a chain gun turret. I really should just be shooting everything in sight. It's not like I need to conserve ammunition at this point. Alright then. I think I still need a way down. I don't have a way down currently. So, is there a way down? Or was this just a two-level place? Okay, I'm famished. Gonna plop down a camp. Oh, there's one here already. Let's do that. Let's try cooking with convalescence. That should get some healing based. Close but not quite. So these gave me freezing ray at level 1. Okay, 12 rounds. Let's go down from 20. Fairly decent damage. And everything you hit with it also gets cooled down, so you might eventually be able to freeze them solid. It's right here. It's a vent with mold particulate. It sounds like it's going to release fungal spores occasionally. How about I don't let you do that? Alright, so it seems that tarnished chrome is at this point too powerful for my acid to melt. Going to file that fact away for later. Alright, so looks like this wasn't a very deep place. If it was part of it at all. Sometimes it happens like that, you know. You get 2 stairs down from a single place. They technically lead to different places. Because if you take a good look, the map here says that we're on the surface of the 24th bivou, but if I go down, this just says generic subterranean hills. So this stair down might not actually be a part of this place. So it is safe to move on. Let's actually get up here to Kyakukia. This is one of the non-generated villages, so it's also gonna be here every time. Let's see who we have here. You're a cloneling, and you're a woodsprog. We have Warden Indrix, Goatfolk Pariah. Let's look at you here. Beneath a mane of coarse hair, Warden Indrix's lips move without issuing forth any sound, perhaps in the formation of a litany invoked in the name of the vengeful god he serves. The coarse hair grows in an uninterrupted mass down his torso, that of a human but broader and more taut with muscle than any man's, disappearing only behind the sash of his kilt. But for Mayor Nuntu and the Warden himself, no one knows the circumstances of Indrix's estrangement from his kin, for no one dares mention it lest they draw the Warden's ire. One of his great curling horns has been cleanly cloven from his head, however. That same horn, along with several others, hang from a belt slung low about Indrix's hips, giving him the distinction of being the only warrior to bear his own appendage as a trophy. And you are loved by the Fellowship of Wardens and Pariahs, admired by the village, hated by Goatfolk for some reason he won't share, and admired by mysterious strangers for reprogramming the least favorite robot. Alright, you are a very good candidate for doing the water ritual. just not now. There is a quest later on that we're going to have to deal with goat folk later. Getting too low of a reputation is not preferable. Maybe after the quest I can just do that. This right here is a stone columbery. Got some village lore. In 979, Nuntut, the legendary albino ape, grew tired of bludgeoning things to death and journeyed to a root-strangled place on the river Svi. There he came upon Kyakukia and its inhabitants. The villagers of Kyakukia asked Nuntut to employ his magisterial skills and lead the village. Okay, so we are filing that away in a different section of the journal, specifically for villages. Here is find wares from the consortium Fita, which is a faction for self-aware plants. Here is one of them. Yule, a sentient cucumber vine, puts their roots down in a squat clay pot on the floor of their hut. Myriad wares rest on oaken shelves throughout the room, and with their tendrils Yule exhibits them to interested customers by crawling along an iron trellis. You notice that Yule creeps towards products almost before you think of them. The gift of telepathy affords the sprightly vine a distinct advantage as a chandler. Here's the man right here. He's really good at disguising himself as foliage. Crow song. Someone is swaddled in the fleece of life and death. Grass, fern, and moss grow on or are the sweat figure's clothes, and mushroom caps are the buttons and fasteners. Leery pipe of needlepoint ivy curtains their face, horn holds round their waist, and peeking through the canopied shoulder are the carved heels of sword twins. Okay, I know this guy. He has a unique pair of swords. And actually, getting to wield them gets you an achievement. And you can get them without killing him, thereby angering the entire village, or dominating them and making them drop their weapon. I am Ibas. Who are you? Crow song, Death Wonder, a colony of ants eating me, the leaves, the light, and thereon. And why are you hiding in the bush? Hiding? No. Being grass, the feeling of animate being, radiate inward like a turned out star. Whatever makes you happy, dude. Your twin blades are works of art. Where did you get them? Tucked from the clothes of one who had become a cold in time's silly carpet, I outrooted the heels and sheathed the blades, and now I am he. I still have the nail dirt. So he kinda killed a guy for it. Alright then. Fermented tongue adds tongue-based effects to cooked meals. I got tongue as a mutation after eating a certain meal, but I didn't really get to use it before it went away. Would it be worth selling one of my implants here? Probably not. Maybe some other time I can find it. Let's see, some other village lore. Under the Beetle Moon, folks settled here to gather goods of passage for Apesad, Oborokoru, and so Kyakukia was founded. You're a Hydra Scout. You're a Salamander. Yeah, everyone's worshipping the ape god here. Okay, someone's shooting someone else. What's going on here? Okay, so Warden Indrix cloned himself. And for some reason, they're attacking Crow Song. Let's wait this out. The Warden's supposed to win here. Then I can maybe get the swords. Okay, whoever's doing the electrical attacks, that seems to be arcing really high. Alright, and Crow Song is dead. And it looks like because they attacked someone from the village, the rest of the village is going to attack the Warden, which is going to quite possibly result in only the Warden staying alive over here. But don't mind me, I'm just going to loot all of these. Grassy earth mat. +2 dodge while occupying the same tile as foliage. It's really situational. Same with the helm. And 100 reputation with trees. I know of exactly one place where that would be relevant. Let's see. Light up for skating lens. Where does this even go when you equip it? Whatever. Leafy West. Might as well get the full set here. Yeah, shearskin slippers. +20 move speed. That sounds good. But still, I have the artifact boots. Snapjaw corpse. Huh. I guess Crow Song was a Snapjaw all along. Interesting. Some jerky. So, everything he had. Floating glow sphere. Gonna be good for selling. And I'd rather not touch the ape fur stuff. Especially at the village of the ape god. Ogre fur cloak. Okay. Minus reputation with apes. This can stay over here. Well, if they are in such a hurry to evacuate the village, I'm not saying no to that. I do wonder who these belong to. Is the warden still around? I cannot really tell. And you are protector of the steel, worshipper of Oborokoru. Everyone has mushrooms. Well, I guess this would be one way of utilizing that buff. You know, the one where you cook with luminous mushroom and you get something like, when you eat a mushroom, this and this happens. Okay, you're a glitter mensch. I think those are mineral people of some sorts. Okay, wow, carbide boots sell for quite a lot. I can give the mask for 3 mushrooms. Why not? This is a statue of Oborokoru. The stone idol of Oborokoru stands 20 spans tall. Its nameless sculptor chose to depict the ape god sitting cross-legged with each of his 3 pairs of gargantuan arms grasping each other. The idol is swathed in vines, its caretakers ceding to nature save where the herbage has threatened to obscure Oborokoru's gentle countenance. Wreaths of flowers of every hue the forest begets, azure, chartreuse, indigo, carnelian, litter the base of the shrine, insignificant offerings to what appears to be a careless god. Well, you do you, I guess. Okay, so the warden is there, and you have a clone. Which has nothing to trade. Do you? Yes, you have. A Rhinox skull mole. Interesting. But I'm not in the market for cudgels. And if I remember correctly, the work that he can give you is rather high level, so I'd rather not have that at the moment. Let's talk to the mayor quickly. Be ape still and muse wanderer, and welcome to my village, Kyakukia. Have some mulled mushroom cider. You are an albino ape. Correct. And why do you call it your village? Ah, bad habit. It's a possessive feeling I should work to scrub myself off, perhaps. But I am its mayor, and I have been for some time. You see, years ago I deserted my people. We were of 2 different minds. They desired nothing but to bludgeon everything to death, while I asked, what is the nature of this thing we bludgeon, or of the act itself? Recognizing that my answers lay elsewhere, I cast myself into the swell of the wilds, as a sailor from Perth, with no windward casts their ship to the whims of the pale sea. Some years later, and 20 ago, I came upon these mushroom huts and their goodly inhabitants. They are a people full of earth and poetry, and I was charmed by the warmth they welcomed me with. Surely I owed my acceptance at first to the countenance I share with their mighty god, but they soon grew to love me, and I them. I've remained here ever since in contemplation of those questions that first stirred in me all those years ago. Okay, so you're a smarter ape than you left the regular ones. What can you tell me about Kakuka? We're watered by the river Spray. We pluck the fruit of the wood, and we hunt. The worshippers of Oborokoru whittle and brood too. They will pay you no mind unless you ask of them. Here you can be with friends, or muse alone. With trade goods that interest you, take a gander at Yule's wares in the northwest corner. The odd one crows songs too, if you can scry them in the bush. I must warn you, however, cast no villain's shadow on these grounds. Warden Indrix will be watching. Alright. Have you heard news of Gershlings on good surface? The water wine farmers of Joppa confirm if it is true. As far west as Joppa, you say? Oh, grim. Yes, we found the remains of pale things in the mouth of Svi. Does the gyre widen again? Is there any work, perhaps? The water hand you are. Speak to my friend and warden Indrix. You'll find him patrolling the village. I'd rather not. Well, this clone's not going away. I suppose he had some cloning solution that made it. Anything around here that I missed, maybe? Doesn't look like it. So I'm gonna leave it right here. But before that happens, how about I get myself this achievement right here? I'm gonna equip the monocle. So 2 of these should be the twin swords. Pollux. That's one. Kasleinard, the other. And what's the third? Sniper rifle. Ooh, that's really neat. You see it has 11 armor penetration. That almost always guarantees a damage multiplier of 3 or higher. And it has a very high base accuracy. The only downside is that it's a single shot weapon. So every other turn you have to reload it. Otherwise it's quite beautiful actually. Let's see, it's at 100%, so let's remove it. I kinda want to know where these lands go. So if I go for equip manual, this should give me all the options. Alright, so it's a floating nearby slot. I kinda value my hover sled more than this one. +1 dodge. Doesn't really matter to me. Let's see. Put the fangs in. Now, let's see. You are a long blade, counterweighted, which adds +2 to hit, and you are electrified. Alright then. And you are also long blade, also counterweighted, but you are flaming and electrified. Very good. So if I know this right, equipping both of these at the same time, here you don't automatically unequip the glow sphere, so let's go with this. And there we go. Got the rare achievement. Wonderful. And since I have these already, might be time to stop using daggers. We're gonna see about this. He picked up some grave goods. Not really useful. Let's drop one. Don't really know how much these are worth. Alright, well, this was certainly something. This kind of thing happens in the Caves of Kud. I got a bunch of free stuff out of it, so I am not complaining. Anyway, thank you for watching. Gonna see you in the next one. Bye.